11 years after one of the worst terror attacks on Indian soil sponsored by Pakistan, global anti-Pakistan protests on the 11th anniversary of 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks. Protests in the United States, UK, Switzerland, protesters and activists, minority groups from India, and of course, even Pakistan protested against the Imran Khan government for its inaction against Hafiz Mohammad Saeed and other terrorists in Pakistan. I quickly want to cut across to India Today's Foreign Affairs editor Geeta Mohan for more on this big story. Geeta, 11 years after 26/11, Pakistan has taken no action against the perpetrators of 26/11. Take us through the details of the protests.
Well, a protest because of the inaction of Pakistan, but also the mounting pressure and how the Indian community, as also those who have suffered at the hands of Pakistani terrorism at various quarters within Pakistan itself, have come together, Gaurav, to, in one voice, protesting Pakistan administration's inaction and the safe havens that it provides to these terrorist groups. Look at the kind of statement that came from Secretary Pompeo yesterday when he said that he almost called it a shame that the people who planned Mumbai terror attacks have not been convicted yet. And Rajnath Singh again reiterating that this fight will be taken to its logical conclusion, if not in Pakistan, then at the FATF. And that's the reason why the kind of protests that we're seeing, that we saw or witnessed on the 11th anniversary of 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks outside the Pakistani embassy in Washington, D.C.
And these protests that we see, so, at one level, as you rightly pointed out, there is US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo who's hit out at Pakistan for not taking action against the perpetrators, and the Indian Defense Minister Rajnath Singh. You also have the common man on the streets who's protesting, and not just in India, more than India, in Geneva, in Washington, D.C., in London. Geeta.
Absolutely, Gaurav. It seems like in the past few years there has been a level of strengthening of the call for Pakistan to start taking action. And people have realized that they can come out and start questioning the administration, even if it is in the form of protest outside the Pakistani embassy. And that's the reason why we've seen an increasing number of instances and gatherings, rallies outside the Pakistani missions, be it in New York, in Washington, D.C., or for that matter, like you rightly pointed out, in Geneva, speaking about the atrocities meted out to the minorities in Pakistan, as also the fact that terrorists are allowed, the kind of space they're allowed in Pakistan, and they using it against the interests of other countries in the region. So yes, this is strengthening of voices of the common man on the streets of various countries, trying to bring to the attention of the international community what Pakistan has done and so far not done.
What about Pakistan, Geeta? 11 years, Pakistan has taken absolutely no action against the perpetrators of 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks. Is Pakistan not feeling either Indian or global heat on this?
Well, look at the case itself. Look at the 26/11 case and where it stands. Inaction because of lack of evidence. Where is the evidence? India has always said that 99% of the evidence lies in Pakistan, and Pakistan will have to provide that to the courts. Courts can only act on evidences provided. No evidence from the Pakistani administration has provided. The story has moved beyond 26/11. Now we're seeing sham of arrests being made or by Pakistan of Hafiz Saeed, but not on count of 26/11, just on count of the fact that he is involved in terrorism or activities that are define terrorism or terrorist activities. But in terms of the 26/11 attack case itself, it is a very sad story of how this case will see no justice in Pakistan, and there can be no hope of convictions because there is no evidence that's being provided to the court.
Geeta Mohan, for the moment, many thanks for joining me.